Hi, Hope community. Welcome. Last Saturday, we put on for our community an event called Trunk or Treat. It was great. I mean, we had lots of fun, lots of families. In fact, we even have a little video that I want to show you at the end of this message, so stay tuned. This week, Bobby and I were in Oregon for a memorial service, and this was just not any guy to us. He said something when we were around him that no one ever said to us. And it had a profound impact on us. In fact, those words changed the trajectory of our life forever. It was just 7 words, but wow, those 7 words were weighty, life-giving words. Want to know what they were? Here's what he said. I pronounce you both husband and wife. Now, the next 7, I even liked it even better, where he said, Rick, you may now kiss your bride. Solomon, the wisest man of his generation, concluded this about the importance of how we use words. He said this, deliver your words not by the number, but by the weight. Doctors tell us that you and I today are gonna deliver 6,000 words. That's 150 words per minute. That's a lot. And there's a difference between weighty, meaty words that build people up and are inspiring and encouraging versus empty calorie words that leave people glad that you're done talking. We're gonna look at how to deliver the right words at the right time based on what that person needs. Now, more on that in a moment. I wanna just tell you to hit the like, subscribe, and share button to join the Hope community and help others like yourself get encouragement and be inspired. So come on, hit those buttons now. Another way to partner with Hope and be a part of the Hope community is by giving with us as an act of worship. All you have to do is go to hopepd.org right here and hit the giving button, and it's just that simple. Okay, enough about all of that. Now watch this. If you've ever been crushed by someone's word, you get the title of this series. Words carry weight. They can leave a mark for good or bad. They can inspire, they can build, or they can destroy. We've all been on the receiving end of words that have built us up, and we've all been on receiving words that have torn us down, left us wondering, taken away our confidence. Words like, you are amazing, like that. Or, I'm so embarrassed of you. Or, thanks for inviting me. You're so considerate. We've all been on both sides of words like these, haven't we? That's the power of words. Our lives have been shaped by the words spoken to us, over us, and at times at us. This is true of our childhood. It's true right now for some of you, maybe in your marriages. You are dealing with wounds and carrying wounds because your spouse has said words like, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just being honest with you. You know, we need to remember that the words we use characterize us. If you're a Jesus follower, this means something because we're supposed to encourage one another and honor one another and forgive one another and carry one another's burdens. We're supposed to sacrifice for the sake of the benefit of other people, which means our words matter. We are more responsible than the average person for leveraging our words in such a way that our words build people up. We can be slow to take responsibility for how our words land and impact others, which should bother us, right? It's been stated that your life will move in the direction of your words. Now think about that. Where's your life headed? Do your words reflect the one that we say we're following? Last week in episode 1, we learned that words are not equal to weight. Nick said that negative words weigh way more than positive words. So today, I want to give you 3 things that if you can keep in the forefront of your brain, you will have healthier relationships, build people up, and generally be a happier person. I want you to imagine for a second, standing at the edge of a tranquil pond. And in your hand, you have a stone, and that stone represents your world. And the pond symbolizes the world around you, your community, your relationships, or even strangers you come encounter with. I want you to keep this image in your mind as we talk through the first thing that never to forget when using your words. And that is, the source determines the weight. Let me explain that. The source is who is speaking, not what is being said. Here's an example. If a police officer tells you to slow down, or your wife tells you to slow down, which one carries more weight? If your boss or a work associate says, "Great job," which one carries more weight? See, a coach, for example, after the game is talking to a player and says, "We wouldn't have lost that game if you would have simply made that last shot." Now you might think you're just stating the fact, but the player might be internalizing it as them being solely responsible for the loss, which can be crushing. The source always determines the weight. Some people in our lives carry 5-pound words and some carry 50-pound words. That's why we can take criticism from some people differently than others. For example, if I don't know someone and they are critical of me, it's no big deal to me. I just think, well, they're kind of jerky. But if it's someone that I respect and care about, well, it's a very different thing. I take it to heart. For you parents out there, how many times have we forgot that the source determines the weight and crushed our kids' feelings with our words? For you teenagers out there, let me give you a little important tip. Your words also carry weight with your parents. Let me show you. My wife got a text last week from my son, and she showed it to me, and it said, "Love you, Mom, you're the best." Now I looked at it and said, "Oh, that's nice, that's cool." But she said, "No, you're missing it, Rick." I said, "Well, what do you mean I'm missing it? I see it." And she said, "Look at the words." And I'm like, "I'm looking at the words." I didn't get it, but what she was saying to me is that she was looking beyond the words, the 50-pound words, and feeling the source behind the words. That's the weight that your kids have on your parents. Now, understand that, teenagers. That's the weight that you can have on your parents when you say something like that to them. You carry a lot of weight in their eyes to encourage or crush them. See, the source always determines the weight. And the second thing is, weight determines the impact, and therefore the impact determines the outcome. Let me explain that. The source of the words determines the weight of the words. The weight determines the impact, how it lands. And the impact ultimately, in most cases, determines the outcome or the results. Here's the application. Remember who you are and what you represent to the person on the other side of you that you're talking to. In any relationship where you have any advantage, positionally, relationally, even financially, you have a unique opportunity with your words to carry additional weight. And I would encourage you to leverage that opportunity every chance you get to encourage and to build up and to direct and to protect. Remember that verse we talked about in the last episode. It said, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to" what? Their needs. That it may what? Benefit those. Paul is saying that every conversation we have is a construction site to build people up according to their needs so that it will benefit them, not us. Scripture also says, you will eat the fruit of your words. You can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. How would you answer this question? If someone was with you, let's say for a whole week, would they say that your words come across as rotten or healthy fruit? Jesus says in Matthew 5 that if you're a follower of his, you are to be salt and light. Salt uses words that preserve and protect. Light uses words that illuminate the path for people and helps them to see where they might stumble. See, if you're a Christian, remember who you are and who you represent to the person on the other side of you. Remember to take you into account, because the source of a word determines the weight of the word, and the weight determines the impact, and ultimately the impact determines the outcome. So, leverage your words accordingly. This is just one more thing that love requires of us. So we will pick up right where we ended today in episode 3 next week, the weight of the words. And remember that video I told you about at the start of this? Here's what it looked like. Watch this.
When the sun goes down and the moon comes up, I turn into a teenage goo-goo muck. Yeah, I cruise through the city and I roam the streets, looking for something that is nice to eat. You better duck when I show up, the goo-goo muck. I'm the night-head hunter looking for some head with a way-out body underneath that head. Yeah, I'll get you, baby, with a little love, 'cause I'm a teenage tiger and a goo-goo mug. You better duck when I show up, the goo-goo mug.
And if you've missed any of the episodes, you can always go here for more. See you next week, either online or on campus.